At the beginning of the story, we see Nancy driving somewhere in her car. Nancy tries to call her husband Harry, but Harry wasn't in his office. Actually, Harry worked at the same company as Nancy's date, and he was having an affair with a girl named Honey who also worked there. Because of this, Nancy is very troubled and has to see a psychiatrist named Dora. Later, she tells Dora that her husband had promised her he would stop seeing Honey, but every night he goes back to her. She also says that he's only interested in her dad's money, not in her, and with that, Nancy leaves. After that, Nancy goes to Honey's house looking for her husband and starts shouting loudly. Just then, a man tells Nancy that Harry isn't there, and hearing this, Nancy leaves sadly. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Harry getting intimate with Honey. From their conversation, we learn that Harry wants to get Nancy out of the way and enjoy life with Honey using her father's money. Meanwhile, Nancy was on her way home when suddenly an alien spaceship appears in front of her on the road. Nancy tries to run away after seeing the spaceship, but then a beam of light from the spaceship shines directly on her. However, she manages to escape just in time. After this, Nancy goes back to Honey's house and starts calling out for Harry. At the same time, two townspeople arrive there, and Nancy tells them that she saw a huge alien spaceship on the highway. Hearing this, one of the townspeople goes to Harry and tells him that his wife has seen an alien spaceship. After this, the sheriff takes Nancy to the place where the spaceship was seen, but when they get there, they don't see any spaceship. Just then, Nancy's father Bob arrives and takes Nancy away from there. On the way, he tells Nancy not to embarrass him in front of people by talking about such nonsense. To this, Nancy says, "But I really did see a spaceship." However, Bob doesn't listen to anything she says. Then at night, Nancy meets Harry and tells him about the alien spacecraft too. But Harry also doesn't believe what Nancy says. At that moment, Nancy tells him, "You never believe anything I say anyway, because you like sleeping with Honey." Harry then says, "From now on, I will never meet Honey again." The next day, Nancy meets her Dr. Dora and tells her, "I saw an alien spacecraft on the highway, but no one is believing me." To this, Dora says, "I believe you." After this, when Nancy is swimming, Harry comes to her. Nancy tells Harry that she has to gather evidence somehow so that she can prove to people that she really did see an alien spaceship. So the two of them go to the place where she saw the spaceship. After that, they take the car and set out, and by evening, they reach the spot where Nancy had seen the spaceship. For a while, Nancy doesn't see anything there, but then suddenly the same spaceship appears. Seeing it, Nancy gets very excited and goes underneath the spaceship. Just then, a light from the spaceship starts shining down on Nancy. Meanwhile, Harry tries to save Nancy, but even then, Nancy gets teleported inside the spaceship. Seeing all this, Harry runs away from there. After this, we see Honey, who hears some noises coming from her roof, and so she grabs an axe and goes up to the roof. There, Honey finds Nancy. Honey asks Nancy how she ended up here, and just then, Nancy points towards the sky and faints. A little while later, Nancy is brought home. Dr. Dora says that Nancy is absolutely fine. Just then, Nancy comes in and tells everyone, "I'm not crazy. Now everyone has to believe me." But right then, Harry and Bob start saying bad things about Nancy's mom. Because of this, Nancy gets angry. Suddenly, Nancy's clothes start to tear and she grows from a normal person into something much bigger. Then the next day, Harry brings a doctor named Victor so he can check up on Nancy. After this, Dora takes Victor to see Nancy. Here, Dora tells Victor that Nancy's size has increased a lot, but her reports are coming out completely normal. That's when Victor asks Nancy to come to his lab so he can research her properly. But Nancy refuses Victor. After this, Nancy's dad comes to meet her at night. He tells her that she should go inside and rest. To this, Nancy says that she's perfectly fine here. She's just relaxing while looking up at the sky. Then Nancy asks him if he can make her the way she was before. At that moment, her dad says that the doctors are working on exactly that. Next, Nancy starts swimming in the pool. Just then, Harry comes over to her and asks if she's okay. Nancy says she's perfectly fine. It's just that sometimes her heart starts beating really fast. After that, when Harry is about to leave, Nancy invites him to dinner the next day, and Harry agrees. The next day, when Dora comes to meet Nancy, Nancy tells her that tonight she has invited Harry over for dinner. She says, "I wish today was like the old days." Hearing this, Dora feels really happy. After that, Victor calls Dora and Nancy outside. We see that Victor is holding a very large syringe in his hand. After this, Nancy comes outside and asks Victor about the syringe. Victor explains that it contains some vitamins and minerals. At that moment, Dora says that Nancy doesn't need it. Victor replies that he has permission from Nancy's husband and her dad as well. Dora then asks, "What about my permission?" and snatches the syringe from him. She starts to intimidate Victor, then throws the syringe away and leaves from there. Then at night, Harry comes to Nancy and the two of them sit down to have dinner together. Just then, Nancy says to Harry, "I don't even remember the last time we had dinner like this." Harry replies, "We've had dinner alone like this many times." Then Nancy asks Harry, "Have you heard about Gulliver's Travels?" To this, Harry says, "I read a book about it once." Nancy says, "Now I've also started to think of myself like Gulliver, and now everyone else seems like little toys to me." Just then, Harry tells her, "You've gone crazy, and anyway, you're one big mistake your father made." Hearing this, Nancy gets angry and throws a car. Then Harry says, "Honey is better than you, both in looks and in bed," after which the two of them start fighting. This makes Nancy even angrier, and suddenly she faints and collapses. After this, we see the father who was working on one of his projects. We see that he didn't care about Nancy at all, while on the other hand, Harry was having fun with Honey. A little while later, Nancy regains consciousness and, looking for her husband Harry, heads towards the city. Just then, on the way, Nancy meets Dora and Sherry. Nancy asks them about Harry's whereabouts, so Dora tells her not to go towards the city. But Nancy doesn't listen to her at all and still heads to the city, going straight to Honey's house. Meanwhile, Honey picks up a gun, but just then, Nancy breaks through the roof and throws Honey's gun away. Seeing this, Harry tries to run away, but Nancy lifts his car, pulls Harry out, and starts to escape with him. After going a little further, Nancy comes across some electric wires, which force her to stop there. Meanwhile, Sharif and Bob also arrive at Nancy's location. At that moment, Bob tells Nancy to stop all this now because she has already ruined his reputation enough. Nancy replies that he never really cared about her anyway. He only ever loved his company and his money. Hearing this, Bob tells Sharif to fire and gives the order just like that. Everyone starts attacking Nancy, which causes her to fall back onto an electric wire and get a strong shock. But just then, that same spaceship arrives and teleports Nancy and Harry inside it. Everyone is shocked to see this, and then the spaceship flies away from there. After some time passes, we see Harry, who is being kept like a prisoner inside that spaceship. Next, we see Nancy, who had now become a member of the spaceship's crew. Then Nancy tells Harry that now you'll have to live here, because this is our home now. After that, Nancy walks away, and the story ends here.